everyone, my name is Rara Lay and I'm here with my co-host Michael. Welcome to the Global Politics Horizon Show on NoireTV. NoireTV network showing across the USA on Verizon Cable Channel 269, Optimum Cable Channel 1100, and on Digicel in Jamaica. Today, we actually do have a special guest. He is Mr. Peter Obi. He is a presidential candidate from the Labour Party within Nigeria.
Welcome to NoireTV's Global Politics Horizon. The first question is, assuming that you are elected, let's look forward to day one. You've been sworn in and you've just closed the door to your presidential office. You're sitting down and adjusted your seat to your liking and you grab the presidential pen. What are the top priorities that you tackle for day one?
Well, that's interesting. Thank you for assuming that I'm going to be elected. And what do I do from day one? And thank you sincerely for inviting me and for this opportunity. For me, from day one, I'll go straight to tackling the issue of insecurity. It's the number one priority, insecurity. But we be said with a lot of other problems which needs to be tackled simultaneously. But on top of that list is insecurity.
So I also want to jump into another question here, and I want to make sure I get this exactly right, so pardon my glance down. But President Biden here in the U.S. approval rating has recently surged as he has made good on several campaign promises, such as relating to climate change, as well as student loan forgiveness. In the name of transparency, what promises should the public hold you accountable for against the next 4 years if they were to want to vote for you for re-election?
Now you're talking about 4 years, so it's not day one.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that everything I promise is tackled simultaneously.
Okay.
And the promise is that, again, is insecurity, dealing with the issue of rule of law and order, since the governments, bring stability in the polity, uniting the country, ensuring that it is transparent and visible good governance, fighting areas of corruption, which will be visible and transparent, and people will see it.
Yeah.
Cutting the cost of governance, investing in human capital development, and ensuring that critical areas of infrastructure, like power, it seemed to be tackled.
Okay.
And this, I've said, people will see, whatever we're doing will be visible, it will be measurable, people can see it.
And I think that's very important for it to be visible and measurable. So that's something that we can look forward to. So thank you. That's great to know.
Given the numerous challenges that Nigeria faces, corruption, like you mentioned, a lack of stable electricity, lack of job growth, etc. What message would you have for those who have already just simply given up?
Well, like it's happened in every other nation. What we're going through now have happened in other nations. What it requires is just leadership. If we have a competent leadership with character and capacity, you start trying to pull the country out of all this. There's nothing difficult in saying, hey, today we're generating 4,000 megawatts of electricity, that we're going to move it in 4 years, in 5 years, from 4,000 to at least 10,000. It was a rocket science. We'll do it, people will see it, people will feel it. We're going to deal with the issue of corruption. It's something that I preach it every day. If the leader is not corrupt, his family and those around him are not, you reduce it by 70%. And whoever is doing it knows that he's going to face the law. So if you're caught in it, no question, nobody's above the law. And you start doing this. You see, when you start doing the right things, issue of what is even mentioned, job creation, if you tackle the intangible assets of insecurity, which is number one, deal with the issue of rule of law, law and order, invest in human capital development, you're going to start attracting people to come and invest local first, your diaspora, then foreigners.
So also, anytime the question is asked, essentially, everyone always affirms that they believe in a more inclusive government. However, we've seen time and time again, whether it has to do with gender, ethnic group, physical ability, that action isn't necessarily taken. In your, if you were to be elected, what specific pledges can we hold you accountable for regarding to this subject?
What it means inclusiveness, for me, it is about, I said it before, about competence and capability. As governor of the state, of one of the states in Nigeria, I had, for example, more women working for me than men.
Okay.
Because they were competent.
Right.
So it's not a question of, it's not something that you're entitled to.
Right.
You know, it's not an entitlement.
Right.
It is the question of, are you qualified?
Absolutely.
You know, we have to be qualified to work, because I need to engage and work with people who are qualified, who are competent, who have the capacity to do the job they're given, not just because I want to balance everything. Right? No. There's no balance in this time, because we're running against time. So you need to work with those who believe in your vision, who can help you to drive that vision. And, you know, will include everybody.
It's almost an exclusive consumption economy. And it's important to transition to production. And what specific industries would you be focusing on for that?
That's what I've always preached. And I want to move the country from consumption to production. And when you talk about production, it is a whole vast thing. You start from, and I give you an example of what I'm saying. If you go to Nigeria has vast land, vast or cultivated land. It's a country that today is sitting on 923,000 square kilometers of land. Fertile land in most places and everything. So you need to move it. You need to get people to go back to the farm. Again, security issues in some of the farms. You need to deal with the security issues. To get those who have left their farm now to go back, and you need to have a development bank like agricultural bank to support more production in that sector, so that they can feed themselves, Nigeria can feed itself, and export agricultural products, which is very critical to us. We need our greatest assets, assets in terms of physical assets today is the land we have. You know, so we have vast land, physical assets, which we can invest in, not oil. The land can give, if we manage it more effectively, it can give us more money than oil. But today we're dependent on oil. I mean, if oil had not saved Venezuela, we have 10 times more oil reserve than we have. It won't save us. And oil is a diminishing asset. Even in America, yeah. Texas is not the biggest state, it's California. When you talk about two things, land, agriculture, and knowledge. And the same thing for us. We can drive this through process. We can drive agriculture, we can drive knowledge. That's what's of production. As I said, I will invest in agriculture, I will invest in knowledge. Again, the more you generate, transmit, and distribute more power, the more people go into manufacturing of finished goods. So these are specific areas that will help to create jobs, to everything, and that's what we need to do.
Okay, so it sounds like subsistence farming and self-sustaining first, and then.
Of course, no. It's not just subsistence. We're going to go into manufacturing as well, but we have to start at the base. You have to first have the agricultural product before you talk about manufacturing. So we're going to run everything simple, but we must be productive. It's a country of 200 million people. Like I said, we have vast land, we have the population, and we have youthful population that are very energetic, and I can tell you, have the capacity to change the world.
And so you did mention the youth, but brain drain is an enormous problem that Nigeria is facing right now. Many Nigerians abroad, including myself, dream of coming back home to build a home, to invest into Nigeria, to work in Nigeria, and contribute to it. However, many of us may be particularly scared due to the increasing violence that is partaking in the country. What is your action plan to fight against domestic terrorism in Nigeria?
I'm not worried about brain drain.
Mm-hmm.
There will be brain gain, because they're going to come back. When we fix the place, you'll be the first investors who will tell the world that we're doing well now.
Right.
Because same thing has happened everywhere in the world. It is those who left Asian countries that went back and turned it around.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to come back and turn it around when we bring stability, secure the place, ensure that we entrench rule of law and order. You'll come back. So it's a gain for us.
Right.
You know, it might be a loss now because you've seen the. So dealing with the issue of terrorism, what I said, when we deal with security, we will deal with it aggressively. I might not tell you, disclose exactly what we're going to do.
Of course.
But some of the measures we're going to do is that we're going to increase the manpower within our security agencies, equip them properly.
Right.
You know, support them with the political will to deal with the issues decisively. Have a multi-sectoral policing where we have police at the center, policing at the state, possibly at the local government, and even in the communities where we have security. Deal with it aggressively.
Right.
It's not, like I said, it's been done everywhere, and we can do it.
Absolutely.
Are there any misconceptions about your presidency and candidate run that you would like to address at this moment?
Well, I don't think there is, except maybe people will say we don't have structures, you know. But for me, that is what we want to destroy. We want to dismantle the structure, because the structures that are there today are structure of criminality, structure of corruption, structure of inefficiency, structure of ineffectiveness. These are things we want to remove and bring in a movement that wants to take back the country, give it to the people, create Nigerians that will have faith in their country because they hope like her.
It is no secret right now that in Nigeria currently spends more than it earns. So that is a huge problem that the country is facing right now. I understand that you have plans to cut those expenditures, and I believe you spoke to that a little bit earlier before. But specifically, how do you plan on tackling this?
Not just Nigeria that spends more than it earns.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other countries do the same thing.
Okay.
A lot of other countries are borrowing.
Right.
United States today owes about 80% of its GDP in debt.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's borrowing.
Right.
Everybody's spending more.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong in spending more than you earn. There's nothing wrong in borrowing. It is what you do with the borrowing that makes the difference.
Mm-hmm.
If you borrow for investment, you will grow. The problem we have today is that we're borrowing for consumption. You commit suicide.
Yeah.
So I want to borrow for investment. And we're going to do that. Yes, and we're going to cut the cost of governance.
Okay.
And it's so many areas. I've done it at a state level where we shut down everything. And people saw it. I was governor for 8 years. We never borrowed a penny.
Right.
We didn't borrow anything. We shut down the cost of governance. Not only we shut the cost of governance, we became the only subnational state ever in Nigeria to start future savings. So by the time I left government, with visible again, measurable achievements we had, like in education, we used to be number 26 over 36. We became.
Was there be any specific plans for specific youth operations that you might have?
I just told you, ICT, entertainment, sports, small businesses.
Okay, those
They are the
different
ones.
industries.
That's what drives everyone. If you shut it down in America, there will be more criminality in America than there is in America. They'll be shooting each other on the street because they have more guns there on the street than we have. I can assure you. So the youths have the energy, and you need to put them to work.
Okay.
And I know that you have an extremely busy schedule, so I'm going to end this on a little bit of a lighter note. I have a very serious question for you. Do you prefer jollof rice or rice and stew?
We have a lot of good foods, good weather, good everything. And that's why I'm worried that we have all this. And I know people who want to come to Nigeria to eat what you're doing now. And of course, we can't have, God gave us everything that is good. We don't have bad weather. We don't have snow. We don't have all these things. So we want to create a society where people will jump to the plane and come and celebrate. Starting with our people. Nigerians all over the place doing incredible things. And we want to change it. We want to bring it home.
NoireTV, showing on Verizon Fios channel 269, Optimum channel 1100, and on Digicel. Or on our website www.noiretv.com, or download the app from the App Store or Play Store.